Hello, welcome to another Sunday Cook and Chat. Uh, if you are watching, let me know if you can hear the sound. Okay, so that I just want to make sure everything runs correctly. I can also check that myself. Let me see. There's always an easy way to double check to make sure that everything is tip top shape here. Let's see. Something. Let's see. Okay. If you're watching and you can hear the sound, let me know. Okay, I just want to double check to make sure that everything is running great. Okay, if you notice, I switched the camera around. The last two times I shoot the show, I put the camera and the computer on the other side, and the bright window was too bright, even though it's weird, it's just like that. See, now I switched the camera around. If, if you're in the room, it's almost completely all the blinds are covered, but the way the camera works, it's better. At least that brightness light behind me is not as glaring as. Yes, Brooke. When I bought this house, uh gosh, I bought this house almost 7 years ago. um there was a wall right here. Okay, there was a wall on the wall. It's like, so we had to knock down. I knocked down all the walls so that the kitchen and the living room and the dining room is all one big open space. I love it. It was a lot of work. It cost a lot more money than I expected, but I like open kitchen because I like to be in the kitchen cooking at the same time talking to my friends or family or guests or whatever. So I love to cook. I love to entertain. Anyhow, today is chicken curry, Vietnamese style chicken curry. Hello, everybody. Hello, Patrick and Brooke, the two people watching. Chicken curry, when it come down to Asian culture, Indian, Thai, Vietnamese, there are a zillion. Hello, Anthony. There are all kind of curry recipe, a ton. If you go, on YouTube and watch YouTube video, you see a zillion curry recipe video. The one thing about Vietnamese curry that's separated from Thai or Indian or other culture is um, the use of lemongrass. Okay, that's probably the biggest difference, and perhaps less sweet, less sugar than Thai curry. Uh, when it comes down to Thai curry, my only knock on it, I love it. I love the creamy coconut. I just think that it tend to be too much on the sweet side. Okay, so here I have chicken, 2 pound of chicken, and I marinate this um, last night. Okay, and let me show you what I use for curry. Focus. I like hot, but my wife is not a big fan of hot, so I have red curry, which is hotter, and then the regular curry stuff. So if it was up to me, I would cook all in red curry for my taste because I like it hot. But to make it more suitable for my wife, I use, okay, to marinate the chicken, 2 pound of chicken, basically chicken thigh and chicken legs, dark meat. I put in 2 tablespoon of yellow curry and 1 tablespoon of red curry. Okay, so that's how much I use. Now you can always add more or add less. Okay, when it comes down to cooking, it's not like baking. It's no exact science. Okay, you have to cook that fit. your palate. Okay, so I always tell people when it comes down to baking, it had to be an exact science or bad things happen. But when it comes down to cooking, go with what tastes good. And also 1 tablespoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Okay, so that's what go into this bowl last night when I mix it all up. Okay, and here's a can of coconut. And last but not least is a couple of bay leaf. Okay, that's it. So let's get cranking. Um, I chopped up some shallot. You can use onion, but I had some shallot in the fridge, so I'm gonna use probably a quarter cup of shallot, which is maybe 2 shallot, and then 2 garlic. I also minced up 2 thing of garlic. Okay, and then some carrots. Once again, when it comes down to my cooking, the spices I try to maintain, but when it comes down to vegetable, there is no, you have to use potato, you have to use carrot, use whatever you like. Okay, I'm too old to give a damn about what traditional recipe is all about. So I'm using carrot. Carrot is one of my favorite vegetables, so I use carrot. Potato, I'm not big on potato. Outside of French fries, I'm not a big fan of mashed potato or any kind of potato, so I don't use potato. I have some leftover steamed broccoli in the fridge that I will toss in. If you have leftover vegetable that are steamed, medley, toss it in there, okay? Corn, peas, you name it. But I can add corns and peas later, okay? Because those doesn't take a long time to cook. So first thing, put in 3 or 4 teaspoon of oil, just enough to coat the pan, okay? Let it heat up. And then I'm just gonna saute the garlic. And here's a lemongrass. This is how much lemongrass I'm using. And you can either chop this up or, just saute the whole sticks in there and let the flavor permeate. Um, on some dish, I like to chop it up because I don't mind. If you're familiar with lemongrass, yes, Patrick, you can use sweet potato as well. You can use yam. You can use even yuca. I actually like yuca more than potato because growing up in Vietnam, I ate a lot of yuca and love it. I even like yuca fries. Um, but some people don't like the texture of lemongrass because it's like a fiber-ish kind of texture. So for curry, I just toss in these sticks, okay? Because ultimately, if I slow cook this for an hour, the flavor of lemongrass will be in the dish. Okay, so this is what separates us from many other culture as far as curry. You can use butter squash, you can use many things. But the bottom line is, when you come down to like butter squash or other things, they get mushy really quickly. So add those at the end. Okay, when it comes down to vegetable, outside of carrots, I tend to put those things in the last 15 minutes because I don't like mushy vegetable. Okay. And you can use more, okay? I don't want to burn the garlic or shallot. So I turn down the heat, it's a little bit too hot. When the pan is too hot, take it off the heat. already smell good. Oh, garlic, Charlotte, come on. Who doesn't like that smell, right? Okay, let it sweat a little bit. Okay. Also, toss these in. Let it sizzle. Let's see. I finally got around to watch not Asian show, the Inhuman episode 3. Oh my god! If episode 1 and 2 was not good, that's to say politely not good. Episode 3 cemented that it is not a good show. Oh my god! Oh, for those that have seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. There was a jailbreak scene and setup in the episode. My God, some of the worst, it's the worst prison fight scenes I have ever seen in any TV or movie show. Horrendous acting, horrendous. Oh my God, the prison guard. Wow. Does this show just skip hiring actors? Oh my God. Oh man, they look good. Look good, smell good. Time to add the chicken, okay? This is 2 pounds of chicken. This should feed 6 people easily, okay? Time to crank up the heat. Time to take out the thong. My favorite utensil in kitchen. And because this is a metal thong, I have other thongs, but they tend to be crappy. This one, the cheap Asian shop, work well, but can't use them on a non-stick pan, right? Already, you can smell the curry. Mm. Now, one of the benefits of leaving the lemongrass in a big stick like that is when it's all done and cooked, it's easy to not, uh, you know, put it in a bowl. You can always, fish it out and throw it away if you don't like it. Now, just let it cook. Let's see the super Asian. Brooks the Asian of shites. Reaper have never seen an episode of the Inhumans. For those, I think to me the Inhuman is so bad that I think everyone, well, it's a good idea to see it, at least the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then you had the benchmark of what is the low of the low. Okay, I'm pretty sure now that I saw 3, I'm not sure I want to see number 4. Okay, I've seen enough. But at least I now have a benchmark of what is the worst Marvel show on TV. No doubt. There is no question. No question. no doubt. Now, cooking like this, it's not, I don't aim to finish cooking the chicken like this. No, okay, this is not gonna be done. But what I'm doing is really cooking the spice. If you're familiar with spice, when you cook the spice with oil, a little oil, there's something about the hot oil and the spices that enhance the impact of the flavor of the spice. That's what I'm doing. It's not because I'm trying to cook the chicken. No, the chicken was marinated in the curry powder. So now as I'm cooking it, it's more like me cooking the spice to enhance the intensity of the curry flavor. Almost there, okay? Almost there. Oh, smells great. I'm keeping the heat at medium high. I will chop up the carrots, but as far as coconut milk, okay, I'm using light, like low fat, but even then, the coconut, even the light, low fat coconut milk have a layer of coconut fat, okay, that float to the top. If you're super healthy, scoop out the top quarter of the can, okay, you can see it's just white. It's just coconut cream, okay? This is, it doesn't have that much flavor. Most of the coconut flavor is here in the coconut juice. So if you're super healthy, you don't have to do this, okay? You don't have to use the fat, okay? But I don't mind a little coconut fat in there. Here we go. 1 can, okay? And then fill this up with an equal amount. Turn it up to high, okay? You want this thing to be boiling next. And then fill it up with some water, another can. I don't eat chicken stock. We have so much chicken in there. Do I really need to eat chicken stock? To put in chicken stock to boost more flavor? Not really. You know, whenever whenever I cook, I'm always mindful of how much liquid I'm adding to the sauce. So for now, it's just coconut milk in there, coconut juice, okay? And you can see it barely cover all the chicken, okay? Barely, okay? Let's chop up the carrots. This way I can do it over here. This way I can talk and look at the chat and cut the carrot at the same time. This is about a pound of carrots, okay? About 1 pound. I love carrots, so I'm not shy about using a lot of carrots. Hello, John. John, Dr. Von Chilla's in the house. It is Sunday, my cooking day. Now, I cook twice a week, and the other day that I tend to cook is usually Wednesday, midweek. So that we, can eat something different from Wednesday. Whoops, drop a carrot. Dragon, do hello. So, Anthony, Reaper Tate, did you get a chance to see Blade Runner 2049? you mentioned last week that you might go see the movie with your wife Saturday. So let me know if you have seen it, because I would love to chat with you next time we have an offline chat. Love to hear what you think about the movie. You hear the quick knife chopping skills? Okay, all the carrots are chopped. Oh, last week I mentioned that I have a chef coat and chef pants and hat. I could not find them. The last time I saw them was 6 years ago when we packed up the old house and moved here. So I don't know what we did with them. I hope we didn't throw them out. But yes, I was going to wear my chef coat and chef pants, you know, those checker pants. I had the whole thing, the whole outfit. But I cannot find it. Okay, so now the carrots is in it. So as you can see, you know, with the coconut milk, it barely covered the chicken. With the carrots, which is a lot of carrots, and I love carrots, it's now way too much food in there. So now it's time to add the water. Okay, so I always add this part last so that I know exactly how much to add and not too much. How much? I just want enough to cover the carrot, just enough. Well, look at that, almost a whole can. I didn't put in the whole thing. Move the carrot a little bit. Make sure everything is submerged in the liquid. Now I'm gonna cover up. I need to find the right lid. I don't think I have the right lid. I think the right lid to this pan is actually one of those that you can't see through. Not a big fan, so I'm gonna use this lid, which doesn't really fit. But so I'm gonna watch it. Once it's boiled, turn low to let it simmer and slow cook for another 45 minutes, and it's done. Okay, depending on how. Usually within the last 20 minutes is when I put in the peas and the corn, things that don't need a lot of cooking. Since this is a medley, I do have one other thing to add later. Okay. Let's see what I have. I had some. I ate with some. I cooked last night. I ate some chicken with rice and then some steamed broccoli. So I will add this last. It's already cooked. Okay. I just add this at the last moment to mix it in there. But I love broccoli. Broccoli and carrots are my two favorite vegetables. So when it comes down to cooking, I use this and carrot very, very often. Dragon Do ask, let me see, where's my mouse go? Let me move this back over here. Move this back to where I can read. What comic books or how many books are you going to pass on to your kids? First, I only have one son. I wish I had more. If my wife and I met 5 years earlier, we would have at least two. If we met, we might even have three. You know, so it's just that you know, once I met my wife, you know, and having kids at 40, and after it's not easy. More so on my wife. Trust me, if it's up to me, we have more right now. But my wife, after one, it was not an easy pregnancy. Uh, long, long issues. No need to discuss here, but it was not an easy time for her and I. And so after that tribulation, we just super, super happy to have one healthy boy. It's cooking. I also have some leftover tofu, and oops, here's a chunk of tofu that's left over that I will probably use. Okay, the chunk of tofu right here. As far as comic books, I have about 3,000 or so right now. Um, if my son, if my son is super duper jazzed about collecting, he's 10 right now. Okay, he couldn't care less. He understand, but he's not a huge fan of this, of collecting. But in 5 years, if he said, "Dad, I love to keep your collection," I will keep everything. Like I said, I sell stuff because I don't like to keep things around that become a burden to other people. For him or my wife, should something happen to me, that's why I sell the stuff. But if my son come to me tomorrow and said, "Dad, please don't sell anything. I love to keep this," then I will keep everything. Okay, so that's how I approach it. So it's come down to, but until he said that, I will keep selling the non-essential stuff. Like, I don't need duplicates. I don't need 7 copies of Batman 251 or 244 or whatever copy. Okay, so the duplicates can go. Um, let's see. It's getting to be boiling. You can see it. Can you see it? It looked good. It looked good. As far as the salt and sugar, the last thing I will add later is, of course, the last thing that will make it more Vietnamese than other curry is some fish sauce. Okay, this is the fish sauce I use. Um, but I will wait until it's almost done and then taste it. And if it needs a little bit more salt, then I add a little fish sauce, a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. But that's the last step. No more sugar needed. Okay. Tofu. This is one of the things that a lot of vegetarians use. We eat a lot of tofu. I even make my own tofu. This one I bought, but I have all the equipments and stuff to make my own tofu, and I do make my own tofu sometimes. It's just that it's not cost efficient. You know, when you can go to Whole Food and buy organic tofu for $2, you're not saving. I'm not saving much making organic tofu at home. Okay, so we do eat a lot of tofu. Um, and, and one of the things that you know about tofu is that a lot of people, some people don't like it. My advice to people is that when it comes down to tofu, tofu by itself in this form does not grab onto flavor very well. Does not. It doesn't. When I go to a restaurant and they just cut up the tofu in cube and put it in curry or something like that, sure, the curry sauce that they use is what you taste, but as far as the tofu itself, it doesn't really have that much flavor. Okay. Okay. Now that it's boiling, you see that it's boiling. Time to go low. Okay. Time to go low. Let it simmer. Let it simmer. So what I do with tofu that I think grab onto the flavor very well is you need to change the texture of the surface of the tofu. That's the only way that spice or flavor can adhere to the surface of the tofu. Much better than just a white hunk of tofu. Okay. It's just my way of doing it. I don't care what other people do. For all I know, Patrick would just chop this up in chunk and put in his curry. If that's the way he like it, that's fine. Let me show you what I do. Okay, heat this pans up. Just use a little oil, and you just sear and fry the surface of the tofu. And I guarantee you, if you do, if I cut up this tofu, okay, I have two pieces here, okay, two thin pieces. If I leave this chunk, put this chunk in there, but if I fry the surface of this one, trust me, this one will taste a lot better than this one because the curry flavor will soak into the surface of this much more than this plain old pieces. That is very little, okay? You're not talking about not even half a spoon of oil in there. You don't have to. Look at that. Even on low, it's boiling. So what I can do is take the lid a little bit off so that it will help reduce the sauce a little bit as well as thicken the sauce. Okay. Last but not least is I will add a little cornstarch or rice flour into this later at the end, at the last step, so that it will thicken the sauce. Okay. My wife like it, the sauce to be not too thick, so I try to make it, this way. But it's up to me. I add a lot more thickening agent in there so that I can, make it nice and thick sauce to use, so I can eat the curry with a good piece of bread. King Malik asked, I'm cooking chicken curry, Vietnamese style chicken curry. Patrick made some Thai curry last night. Yeah, Thai curry and Vietnamese curry is very similar because I believe both use a little fish sauce, both use lemongrass. The only thing different is I think Thai curry tend to use a little bit more sugar than Vietnamese curry, so it's a little bit sweeter, and they tend to add in hot pepper. We don't do that. I don't do that because my wife does not eat hot food, so I tend to add sriracha curry or to my plate of curry when I'm eating because I like more heat. Hello, Captain UK. Hello, Brian Spaceboy. If you just tune in, you can watch this in rerun later. But I'm almost near the end of my cooking chicken curry because, like I said, it's only been about 20 minutes. This is gonna cook for another half an hour easy. Like I said, I'm just gonna let it slow cook like this to make the carrot soft and to make the chicken tender. And then it's gonna be yummy. So remember, for those that just tune in, 2 pounds of chicken cut up in cubes, 3 tablespoons of curry powder. Okay, I use 1 red and 2 yellow for a little kick, and then 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 tablespoon of salt. So is what's going in here. And then I use onion, garlic, and lemongrass. I'm not sure if you can see, but let me bring it closer. Probably not. No, you can't see the way the light is, but the tofu is looking good. But this is what I do. You know, what regardless of what I do with what I cook with tofu, I do this so that I can make the surface attract more flavors. Okay. Now there are some dish that I would just cut up the tofu into white chunk. There's some dish I do that, like some soup. Like one of my favorite easy Korean dishes is tofu and kimchi. Okay. Yes, the reason why the audio and video quality of these cooking videos tend to be not as good as my live chat because I had to bring my computer out here, and my son is away, so he took his laptop, which is a better computer, and then B is in my office. I connected the computer with the Ethernet, so the Internet is not Wi-Fi. Here you have Wi-Fi, so my Wi-Fi in the house is shitty. Dr. Von Chill would say shites. Oh, good kimchi is not easy to find. Okay, tofu is done. What I will do later at the last stage is cut up the tofu into smaller pieces and toss it in there, and there you go. I added tofu. This is, like I said, a medley of leftovers in the fridge. And that's it. Let's see what else to talk about. I shot, you know, somebody I mentioned last week in the chat that I made a bunch of video called, you know, perfect centering, where I show books and talk about what is considered perfect centering for the book. I shot it long ago, and I just never load them. But I looked through the 3 or 4 videos that I shot. I think I shot like 4. And what I probably would do is trying to load the one that is good. King Malik asked, "What's my occupation?" Accountant. Okay, well, I'm about 75% retired as an accountant, but mostly right now I'm about 25% of my busyness is accounting related to my business, and the rest is being a dad. That's my mostly full-time job, is being a dad at home, cooking, shopping, not so much cleaning. My wife is more into the cleaning. You know, I clean the kitchen. Okay, I cook a lot, so I clean the kitchen a lot. But for the rest of the house, she's the one that like to, you know, mop and vacuum and all that stuff. So the video, you know, when it comes down to like good centering, I probably won't load the video that are, to me, common sense. It's just like Silver Age Marvel, right? We all are very familiar with many Silver Age Marvel with the misrap where instead of showing 12 cents, it showed 2 cents. That's extremely common with Marvel Silver Age. So I definitely won't be loading that video unless people want to see it, you know. But I think I used 4 or 5 books in each videos, and I shot, I think, 4 videos. It's been a while. I shot it, put it on a shelf for a long time. So if people want to see it, I will load it. But I use some books, like, you know, I use a lot of cool books, like, you know, Batman 251 or Conan 1 or Ghost Rider 1. A lot of keys, you know. It would seem, if you watch the video, it would seem as if I'm showing off keys. But, you know, I think that's the main reason why I never load the video, because I just didn't feel, I'm like, geez, it's just like a show off of keys, you know. So that's why I think after I shot the first 4 or 5 video, I'm just like, I show enough of my keys. There's no need to rehash. It's almost like a recycled books for different topics. YouTube sensation, not so. This is looking good. I'm gonna give it a good stir, okay? Oh yeah. It's looking good. It's never enough carrots. My wife loves carrots as well. So is Anthony. If this one vegetable that this family love a lot is carrots. We eat a lot of carrots. Anthony can snack on carrots every day, and he does. We buy little carrots for him to snack for school, for late night snacks. Yeah, he does all of that. Love it. Well, anyhow, that's it, folks. This cooking show is over. As you can see now, I got another half an hour of slow cooking left before I add the fish sauce to make it truly Vietnamese. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'd be happy to take recommendation requests as far as what people like to see. You know, one thing is very clear about this cooking show is that now it's my third one. I guarantee you, I will have somebody that dislike meat and will troll me on the comments, just like in the previous two video. Yeah, there's people that think it's bad for my ethics to eat meat, to blah 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 blah. Like I said, that's what's wrong with this world. People preachy to other on what they should do, just like in comic books, telling people how to collect, what to collect. It's just like food, telling me what to do, what to eat, what not to eat. Enough. But I guarantee you, I will get a comment from somebody that does not eat meat. It is so silly. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I hope you try. If you try the recipe, let me know. I would love to hear people trying this easy. As you can see, when I cook, it's simple. Okay, I'm not about using 25 ingredients and 10 different pots. There is one pot. Okay, simple cooking. If I have a channel, simple cooking. Later, man. Thank everyone for tuning in. Until next week, I have no idea what I will cook next week. Maybe the kimchi tofu soup. I love it. It's a must for me to order whenever I go to a Korean restaurant. So it's super, super, super easy. 3 ingredients: tofu, chicken stock, and kimchi. It is that simple. Later. Thank you. Bye bye.